Asmongold has been banned from Twitch permanently for the next 2 weeks. And according to him, in this video here, basically, he says he's glad that it happened to him because over the last couple years, he had become such a piece of garbage that he needed it. He needed this to help him course correct, even though his friends and family had been saying similar things to him. He needed to be told by Hasan and the internet in order for it to really sink in. I guess this guy really was just that online. And he says he's going to totally change his ways now, and I, for one, believe him 100%. But just in case you need a refresher, or maybe you haven't seen it, here are the
with
clips.
that at all. I know plenty of Muslims that respect gays. Well, I'm not talking about Muslims. I'm talking about people in Palestine. The truth is that that's what they do over there. So no, I'm not going to support a group of people that would be the ones doing the genociding if they had the power to do it. I'm sorry to say, I'm not. I don't have any sympathy for them. I'm sure at some degree there are people that are caught in the crossfire. This is sad, but at the end of the day, this is
some of them, I assume, are good people.
An immoral, evil culture. I truly believe that. And I don't have sympathy for people that are part of it. Oh, I'm not going to...
This is that same clip with a little bit more.
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people. It's not even a question. It's crazy that
very broad brush that we're painting here.
People don't see it that way. They'd be doing the same thing.
I swear, every clip I see of this guy, he takes a sody pop break.
And how much did they kill? As many as they can. They're not able to kill as many people as Israel because they don't have as many bombs and as many weapons. But if they did, they'd be doing the same thing. That's it. Just takes enough. That's right. These people are not your allies. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture that is horrible. It kills people for their identity, and it is directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for, and it is an inferior culture in all ways. It is that simple. No, I don't feel bad for them. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't care. I don't support them.
Oh, he speaks very authoritatively. I mean, he must be right. They must be inferior. I think a guy who lives like this can definitely speak. Oh, I didn't even notice this. That is these bags of like 42 mini bags of chips. He has them stacked on top of each other. And those Austin crackers or what I think that's what they are. He's got a full rack of them at least there. This looks like it could be something similar to that, but all the sody pop you could ever want. Well, I mean, nobody's gonna want this sody pop now, but regardless. And so after that comes out, he apologizes. He says, looking back on it, I was way too much of an asshole about the Palestine thing. My bad. Of course, no one deserves to have their life destroyed, even if they do things or have views I find regressive. You guys deserve more than me saying stupid shit like that. I'll do better. And, you know, there were people like this guy, you violated your golden rule of never apologizing. It would be interesting to hear why you made an exception on your next YouTube video. I don't mind apologizing if it's something I think I'm actually wrong about, Asmongold says. Given the amount of times I've gotten hate for things and never apologized should be proof enough of that. So yeah, there was people that felt like that guy, and then there was people who thought that is a weak apology because he just says the Palestine thing and my bad. I don't think there's anybody that really liked that one, and so I assume that's at least part of why he made this video, where he tells us about how he's gonna pull a 180 and change his life. go down the straight and narrow, 180 straighty.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you all about what my reason was for getting suspended on Twitch and also what my plans are going forward. I'm going to try and structure this video into two parts, where the first part is going to be me talking about the Twitch suspension, second part is going to be talking about myself. And the first thing I want to start off with is something that I know it might sound a little bit insincere because of how ridiculous this is, but I really mean it, and if you listen to the whole video, I hope you can see why. Everybody who's come and spoken out and talked to me and said stuff about me, aside from the, oh, you should kill yourself or something like that, I want to say that I really appreciate you. And I think this has been something
You're welcome.
that's a long time coming. And I actually think that this is something that not only I deserved, but it's also something that I needed. And I want to talk about what the reason for that is, but I want to start off and just make sure that that's actually very clear. So a couple of days ago, I made some comments about Palestine and also about Hamas and, some just general, basically opinions that were trivializing the genocide that's happening there. And I don't really want to like mince words or like try to like, oh, I wasn't justifying or, promoting it. I said something about it that was disgusting. I said that I didn't care about innocent people getting killed by another force, by anything. And I think that that's a horrible, disgusting, mean-spirited thing to say. And
Oh, wow. You got to the normal human take that people who just are born into some culture or government aren't necessarily a part of the overall thing. Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that it was really racist, really, but when I'm using language like Palestinians or like the people there, rather than what my real language was, I've always been very outspoken and very against religious extremism, and I still am. I think that any religion and any way of thinking that's going to cause you to put other people in like kind of positions below you as like, gay people, women, people with disabilities, anything like that, I think that that's a really bad position to have, and I really don't like that. And I think that my problem
Hell yeah. Oppression bad.
and my fault here was that I was making a criticism of religious extremism, and I made no effort. And I feel like almost I've rewatched the clip, right, or a number of the clips, and it's like I've almost made an effort not to draw a distinction between the two things. I think that a lot of us here can easily say that we're against religious extremism, and I am. But whenever I categorize everybody in the area as this like group, then I'm the asshole, and I was the asshole. I had a lot of you guys tell me that. And it's taken me, this is what's so crazy about it, is that I think this has been going on now for like 2 years. I think that I've been slowly devolving into the most mean-spirited, like, I don't really even know what the word is for it. Just like the most mean-spirited, rude, like nasty, like just
Jerk. That's what you are, Aslan. You're a jerk. Uh, I saw some people, I think in some Reddit, I don't know if it was his or not, but they were saying something along the lines of like 2, 3 years ago or whatever, he was doing more video game related content. That was more mostly what he did, maybe every once in a while a little bit more of a pop culture thing. But then I think the one I saw was the Amber Heard trial. When he did that, he got hooked on doing more cultural commentary and then just throwing out opinions about, stuff he's not really all that familiar with. And what led to this, which I mean, I don't know. I haven't followed him that closely for that long, but it would make sense. And then other people brought up that he at one point tweeted out something along the lines of, it's really stupid that people expect celebrities to give us well thought out, solid opinions on stuff like politics that have nothing to do with what they do. Uh, then that's what his content became.
callous, psychopathic version of myself. I think that I've been devolving into this. And a lot of my friends have told me this. My dad has told me this. He said, you've got to chill out. You've got to calm down. I've been
That's insane. That is just the part that blows my mind is he had friends and his dad telling him this, that he's getting too wrapped up in the online stuff, too invested and angry at it. And it took this. Hasan had to tell him, Asmongold, talk to a person. Please, just talk to a single person. And then he went and he reflected on the human conversations, maybe he had some more. He's like, oh my goodness, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, if you get there, you get there. It's just usually it's way cooler if you don't have to do it so publicly. And, generally you probably want to listen to friends and family over people on the internet, even if they do give you the right advice sometimes.
Been like, oh, that old man doesn't know what he's talking about. And I've finally had some level of accountability for that. And thank God. I look back at some of the things that I've said and done over the past 2 years, and I don't think that I've been wrong about everything, obviously, right? But there have been ways that I've communicated and ways that I've acted that are indefensible. And I think looking back on it, it's just disgusting. And it's something that when you get lost in the sauce and you get fixated around like listening and reading feedback and just getting hyper fixated, this is like your entire life, you lose a perspective on reality and you lose a perspective on the world. And I think that perspective was brought into perspective yesterday and the day before, when I was making comments like this. And I feel so stupid. It's crazy. So I'm getting all these people making negative comments toward me. Everybody is telling me like, oh, go kill yourself, I hate you, everything like this.
Not everybody. I didn't see very many people saying that. What I saw was a lot of people wanted him to be banned. I think Internet versus X8, he did a video about it, and I was amazed by how many people really wanted him banned. Very strong sentiment.
You know who reached out to me? And
But I did not see very many people saying they wanted him dead. That was the point.
they wanted to talk and have a conversation and see if I was okay. It's people that were Islamic and people that had fucking family in Palestine. And how humiliating is that? How absolutely humiliating is that? And these were the people I was trying to say were bad. And I feel like such a fucking stupid asshole. I really do. I've always been I guess like I've always been kind of like an atheist, and even as a young kid, I was raised Roman Catholic, and I was always very defiant towards it. And I've always had a negative opinion of religion, and I've also had a negative opinion of religious cultures. And I think that opinion is definitely shaped by the media that I've created, and the media I've created for myself, and then also just the media that exists, the media that I've chosen to seek out as well. And I think that media has allowed me to have certain predispositions and certain biases that the truth is that don't have any sort of relation to what my own real life has been experienced, or what my own real life experience has been, excuse me. And so I've been
Yeah, I think that's kind of what the people were saying, that he went from doing the gaming stuff to variety and cultural stuff.
spending a lot of time talking to those people, and I've seen people like fans of mine, like I had viewers messaging me on Discord, like, why are you saying this? Like, do you want to talk? Do you want to, like, I'm willing to talk to you, and like, like, let's try to work this out, right? We love you. And I scrolled up on their message.
Poor the sad Asmongold fans that basically were just told he doesn't care if their friends or family members die. And they're like, no, Asmongold, please take it back. I still want to watch you talk about stuff, but I can't really watch a guy who says he doesn't care if my family dies and they're inferior.
Messages. And these are people that messaged me in like 2016, 2017, 2018, like, I love your content, I love your stream, I love you, right? And now they get to hear this from me, and I just feel like such a stupid, belligerent fucking asshole. I really do, and I'm sorry. I really am. I think that it's extremely fair to criticize religious extremism, and I think that it's extremely unfair to categorize everybody in part of that group as religious extremists. I think it is, and I'm really sorry for that. I've just been a fucking dick. And
It's funny that he says all this stuff, just admitting to be a giant dick now, and just a bum loser essentially who doesn't listen to his friends or family. Because that's in large part what I said about the last video I did about this guy, and that I'm pretty sure that video broke my record for like to dislike ratio. That one had 3% before my record was 5%. So you guys really knocked that one out of the park. But it was nice to hear him just say, "Hey, look, you're right. You're right." Because I would say this guy's opinion on himself would trump his fans. So he came in and basically just replied to all of his fans, "Nah, You're wrong. He was right.
It's weird because yesterday I woke up and I didn't know if I was going to get suspended or not, and I planned on streaming and everything. And I actually got a text message from one of my mods. They said, "Oh, I heard about the suspension. I'm sorry." And I was like, I remember I was like driving, and like you'd think that like your heart rate would go up, but if anything, I felt more relaxed. I felt like finally I have a moment to just take a step back and breathe and think for myself and just stop, just like get out of my own head. And I spent a long time like just writing basically a list of all of these things that like I think that I should be doing with my life. And this is going to be kind of the second part, by the way, of the video. Comments that I made were pretty much about religious extremism. I think it's bad, but I've categorized a lot of people in that way. That was unfair. It's wrong for me to have done that. I said something that was bad. I should not have said that. I should have chosen my words more carefully. I didn't do that. I doubled down on it. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. That's pretty much, I was a fucking asshole. I was a piece of shit. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. And so, actually, I do know what else to say. I don't like making apologies because I think words don't matter. But I do think changed actions and changed behaviors do. And so you can take my apology as hopefully better content. And if you're not seeing that, I want you to hold me accountable. Hopefully this time I won't be stupid enough to ignore it.
Gotta take a soda pop, or maybe it's water. You know, it is in a cup. Looks like was not purchased from a restaurant or a gas station, which seems to be his go-to. But I would think that's some soda pop.
Mouth is pretty dry. Anyway, so the second part about this is that
A little nervous. Made you parched.
I want to talk a little bit about like my life, my personal life, etc., and kind of some of the points that I think that I've kind of gone through to get here. So the main thing is that for the past, like, I would say like 10 years or so, if you look at my life like this, I would have said 10 years ago or maybe 8 years ago, streaming was like this, right? YouTube was like this. And now I would say that my life and streaming are basically the exact same size. And what I mean by that is that streaming is my entire
The Venn diagram has become a circle.
life. Doing this is my entire existence. And I think that the process of that has been
So he's yeah, straight up. I live online. My whole life is online.
extremely unhealthy for me. And I think that what it's done is that it's allowed me to become such
To be fair though, he's only 34, so you can't expect him to have learned this stuff already.
a one-dimensional person that I'm not even a person anymore. It's like I'm Dark Souls, I'm going hollow or something. And I think about like all of the, like I made a list of all of the things that I'm not doing in my life that I should be doing. And I was writing it down and I'm like, fucking like, I'm just going and going and going. I'm like, oh my God, I think it'd be shorter if I transcribed the Bible. Like, this is insane. Like, like, whenever I have everything written down line for line, it's like, oh my God, I'm ruining my life. I've been existing and I want to, at a certain point, actually try to live my life. And I don't think that I've been doing that. And so what am I going to do? How am I going to do that differently? And what does that mean for my stream, etc.? I think that I'm going to cut down a little bit on streaming quite as much. And I think I'm also going to cut down. This is going to sound like, I hope I can say this in the right way. I feel like the main times that I laugh on my stream nowadays are when I'm laughing at other people. And I look back on videos that I did from 2020, 2000.
So he doesn't want to punch down anymore, right? Punching that's too mean-spirited. Or at least he doesn't want to do it as much. But also just it's crazy to me because he has to have I would think, especially with the way he seems to live, he doesn't seem like he spends very much of his money at all. I would think he could quit now and be fine forever. So I don't understand the people who get to that point and then they still work full time or more. I, I, even if you really like your job, wouldn't you rather, have the free time, a little bit more of it back? It's insane that it takes something like this at age 34 for him to be like, maybe I should take advantage of the fact that I can spend more time with friends and family, that I have the ability to have more free time than just about anybody else in the world, other than, I don't know, a Saudi prince. I don't know if they have many responsibilities, but I don't think they have much stress to make money at the very least.
2016 and 17, and yeah, I've always been an asshole, but holy shit, I've been way more of an asshole. It's insane, and it's a night and day difference. And I've had, again, everybody in the world telling me this, including my own dad, and I've just ignored them. And finally, it's like, you know what? Maybe I'm an asshole. maybe this is too far. Maybe I need a course correction, which is why I think that like getting suspended in this, I hope that it's one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And I don't know whether that's going to be true, but I'm going to try to do things differently and make sure to live up to that reality. And so, what are those things that I'm going to be doing differently? The first thing is that I think I'm going to try. I've been very much trying to like maintain a consistent schedule with my stream, and I will continue to do that. I want to get up and go to bed at relatively the same time. I want to live a normal life, and also I want to spend maybe a little bit less time streaming, and I want to spend more time creating my own videos and doing my own things and spending time on things that I really enjoy, and basically just like
It's kind of having a moist critical moment. You know, I think moist critical step back from streaming a lot more than Asmongold probably will. But well, and I feel like I don't actually watch moist critical, but he is kind of unavoidable. It seems like he's doing more eating a bunch of fast food videos. I feel like that's what I've seen him ranking fast foods and stuff like that, where he's not sat at his computer. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe not, but it seems similar.
expanding my existence as a person. I think that ever since I started like OTK and I got involved with that, and then we had like other Starforge and like Mad Mushroom and Mythic and everything, like I honestly, it's been too much for me to handle. It's been completely too much for me to handle, and I've been losing my mind dealing with it, and I try to hide it the best I can because I try to do the best, right? I try to do my best. It doesn't matter how hard it gets. You just keep going. You just keep going. It doesn't matter, and eventually it does matter. And I think that I've negatively affected a lot of them. And I also don't want to talk about that just in the context of just like this recent controversy. I want to talk about this in the context of the last 2 years. I think that I haven't really been able to fulfill my responsibilities as a leader in a lot of cases to them. And I think that I've let a lot of people down. And there have been things that I've done that are positive as well. But I think that one thing this thing has taught me, this whole situation has taught me, it's made me realize, is that I need to get myself in check. I need to get my mind under control. I need to, like, just get my life. I need to fix my fucking life. Like, it's insane. Like, I think about it and
Yes. Take advantage of how absurdly fortunate your situation is, man. That's just the number one thing that bugs me about this guy. It's like, I mean, you have so much free time and you choose all of it to sit in the front of the computer and not bathe. Come on, man. Just bathe. Like Hassan said, talk to a person or two and go outside a little bit more. That's pretty much all I'm asking for. Really, the thrust of it is if he would just bathe. I mean, that's probably 80% of my problem with him.
it's in shambles. Everything about my life is basically fucked. And I'm going to take a step back from all of that. I'm going to step away from my leadership position in OTK and Starforge and everything. I want to, and they're fine with that. They respect that, and I want to do this. And I want to do this not only for them, but mainly for myself, so I can be a better version of myself for everyone. And I want to apologize to all you guys, my viewers, that I don't think I've lived up to that. I think that I can be a lot better than what I am right now. And I don't even think that I've been putting in half the effort that I should be in the way that I should be. And I'm sorry. And so my plan is to, when I get unbanned, I'll keep streaming regularly, right? And I want to focus more on trying to do things that are fun, trying to laugh more with people rather than at people. I'll still laugh at people every once in a while, okay? Like let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
It's not a full 180. Still gonna allow room for for any potential Amber Herds.
But it's about a focus, and it's about a tone. I listen to my tone in the clip, and I just sound like such a piece of shit. Really, at the end of the day, I sound like a piece of shit. I sound like a terrible person, and it's just so mean-spirited and callous and just mean. And I don't want to be that person anymore. And I've spent a long time growing up. The time I did, I was an r/atheism enjoyer. I have a very negative opinion of a lot of religions. I've had the experience firsthand of the negative effects
I feel like Asmongold, especially saying that he was r/atheism enjoyer, he really does strike me as having the look of a type of guy that would wear not necessarily a fedora, but one of those hats that you don't really see people wearing day to day. Kind of, maybe like this historian guy has here. Maybe he'd wear something like that. I could see Asmongold being that type of person.
of Christianity and the way that I view that. And I've always read a lot of very bad things about Islam, and I've made a lot of criticisms of it. I've talked to a lot of people about it. I've heard a lot about it, and I've been like watching things about it, and I've been like hearing people telling me this is the way it is, but I've never seen it. And I actually think that after all of this, I think towards the end of next year, I think I'd like to visit the Middle East and see it for myself. I want to see it for a historical perspective, right? I would love to go to Istanbul.
You don't think that's a little bit dangerous at all? I feel like there's got to be a few thousand people at least living throughout the Middle East that pretty much the only thing they know about Asmongold is that he said he doesn't care if people over there die. Maybe, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe all he needs to do is avoid Palestine and he'll be good. But I don't know. I think that would be a little bit a little bit sketchy, especially because, well, I mean, I don't know. Hassan is very white, and he's from Turkey, so maybe Asmongold would be able to fly under the radar in some places.
In Turkey. There's no ulterior
No,
motive
it's
there at
just
all.
Turkey.
But it's not just that. I'd love to visit places like Saudi Arabia, Dubai, any of the other places. I mean, the truth is that, and this is the worst thing about what I said, some of the places I would want to visit, I might not be able to because of the way that they're like just the internal strife, the actual literal wars that are going on, people being literally killed there, and I might not be able to do that. But I want to do it and I want to see it for myself because I don't like believing what people tell me. And I think that when I do, I end up being a fool. And I want to see it. I want to see it for myself and I want to experience it. And I want to live my life. And I'm going to try to, like, I don't know, like clean up part of my house. I'm going.
If he actually turns his life around from this, that would be so funny. It's like, I don't know if you guys heard, there's this Asian guy, I can't remember what, I want to say China, maybe Japan, I can't remember, but he was, chubby and just kind of frumpy in general. And he went and he made some post. He's like, "How do I become attractive to women?" And they told him, you got to work out, man. You got to lose some weight. And they gave him some tips on how to dress and some a haircut that would look good on him. And he like worked out for a year and got in really good shape. Got a good haircut. He looked like a completely different person. All he literally just needed to hear what he should do. He had all the willpower to do it, but just lacked the know-how. So maybe Asmongold is the same as this guy, but I don't know. I don't know. I gotta see some progress before I have any faith.
Going to try to do this, and I'm not going to hire a cleaner. As I said, I was raised Roman Catholic. I view this as a penance.
I mean, I can appreciate that sentiment, but when it's this bad, you should ask some people who have industrial capabilities. You're just not going to get it as clean as it really should be, even if you gave it your best effort. Because, well, first of all, I don't think you really know what true clean would look like at this point. I think it's just so far away from how he's lived that, he would just be mimicking it, and doing an impression of clean. So I just hire some people. Maybe you can go through and clean up all the straight up garbage and the real gross stuff so somebody else doesn't have to do it because that would be embarrassing. But you got the money. You should definitely just do that because you're not going to get it clean enough.
And I think I need to do this for myself. I need to take accountability for bad things that I've done and for letting my life get this out of control. And I don't need to get out of jail free card. So I need to
Like his teeth. I think he said he had 5 teeth left, real teeth, and he didn't realize this stuff then.
do that for myself and for my own closure as well. And I think also I want to live for the idiots out there that they're like looking to me to be a role model, right? Oh, not a good idea. But there are people that will see that and they'll think maybe to themselves, maybe I should do the same thing. And if I can do that for one person, well, I've already done it for myself. I've already done a good thing, and so it could only get better. And so that's what my plan is. I'm only to try to like rethink my life. I have had a lot of people reach out to me, people I would have never expected to reach out to me in ways that I never expected. And I understand that, like I'm still very critical about, religious fundamentalism, right? But when you paint with such a broad brush that you just include an entire group of people, you're just being you're being a piece of shit. It's like people said it was racist. I didn't mean it as racist, but if you listen to what I said, it's easy that you could assume that. So easy. And so
Yeah, I mean, you say an entire culture is inferior, all the people in it. I mean, unless what you want to argue, it's culturalist or like, what is it? Xenophobic? I don't know. Maybe there's some more accurate term for it, but yeah, it's just gonna seem racist to most people.
I'm just a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking moron. I've been an asshole. I think that I've devolved for the last 2 years. I think that I've negatively affected other people too in ways that I hate. I don't even hate to say this. Like I think I need to say this. I need to say it more. I've negatively affected people in ways that I regret. I think whenever I go back live again, I'll probably talk about that more. And like there's some just different people I kind of want to apologize to and take accountability for things that I've said and done that have negatively affected other people in ways that were unfair and wrong. And that's what my plan is. Uh, that's about it. I want to say that I hope that now, after you've heard what I have to say, that a lot of you all can see kind of why I'm saying that I appreciate this. I really think that this is something I needed, and I hope that this is the next part of the rest of my life. And I want you guys to hold me accountable to that. So if I'm being a fucking asshole again, if I'm being
Oh, geez, that's how Amber Lynn started out. Weight loss channel, and she wanted to share her journey and have some accountability. And I mean, she's like doubled in size. I think she was, did she hit 500 pounds at one point? I don't know. I don't follow that much, but yeah, I don't know. Make sure you don't end up that way, Asmongold. You gotta stick to it.
mean, if I'm just being callous, acting like a psychopath, just treating people awfully outside of a well raid when they get killed by fire, but really laughing at people's misfortune. Try to say, man, just chill the fuck out, stop it. Just stop. And I'm gonna do my best to listen. I spent 2 years ignoring it, and look where it got me. This is not even the tip of the iceberg of the problems in my life, and
Jeez. How many people are you saying you don't care if they die? Are you telling your friends and family that too?
I want to thank everybody for making me aware that that's the case, and hopefully I can avoid the iceberg, right? And so I want to say that's pretty much about all I've got. I'm sorry for a lot of people I let down, not just with comments like this, but also just with the way I've been doing things in general. I think that you guys deserve a much better version of me than what you've been getting, and I hope that I can live up to that in the future. And I don't even want to think about it in the future, right? As soon as I get unbanned, the best apology is better content, change behavior, and that's what I hope to do. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm just gonna focus on myself for a while, try to improve my own life, and there's a lot of things I think again I'll probably talk about more whenever I go live again that are like more kind of just like kind of in the weeds, like personal stuff. But overall, that's the big picture. That's where I'm at. And so anyway, that's about all I've got, and I'll see you guys soon. I'm gonna try to just take this time off to really kind of fix my shit. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that's about it. I'll see you later. Bye.
Huh. Well, I'm curious to see if he really sticks with it now because I mean that really would just be so funny to me if his friends and family telling him he needs to fix his shit is not enough. But getting canceled and talked to by Hassan and berated by the internet made him realize, oh, I should like take care of myself. And I don't live as if I will be alive in years from now. Ugh. But I mean, I will say it did seem more sincere than the vast majority of other YouTuber apologies that I've seen. Of course, though, like he did say, actions is, if you where you see how sincere it really is. But I thought that was very very entertaining to me to just see somebody admit that. Crazy, crazy that oh, not only that would happen to you, but then you would there, we live in a world where people actually come out and admit that stuff. It's like, oh, internet people, I want to thank you for reminding me to not live my entire life on the internet. You guys are great. These these dorks in my real life, they were saying something like that too, but I don't know. I couldn't get behind it. But when you put it like that, when you when you also tell me I should kill myself, I don't know. Kind of has a ring to it.